What's up, guys? It's Mark here, or you might know me as the Experience. So I came, I came to you through this video today to talk to you about a substance that hold very close to my heart, or I should say, very close to my third eye. It's called DMT. If you didn't already know, and what DMT is called dimethyltryptamine, and what this is it's a substance found in human beings, a lot of living things, and plants, and what this substance does, it's in your in humans and other animals and stuff. It's in what's called your pineal gland or your pineal gland, however way you want to pronounce it, and it's called otherwise known as your third eye. And what's really interesting about this substance is when you're born, when you die, this floods into your brain. It also your pineal gland also helps regulate your sleep patterns, and it's like your internal clock. So you go to sleep and you wake up at like 7 o'clock every day without an alarm. That's your pineal gland. And when you dream, a little bit, they say a little bit of DMT like gives what it gives you your dreams. So when you're born, when you die, DMT floods into your brain. So just this is my personal opinion on it. When the DMT floods into your brain when you're born, when you die, I almost feel like that's your soul entering the body. So your soul enters the body when it floods into your brain when you're born, and when it floods into your brain when you die, that's how your soul leaves the body. And it's also sort of like a welcoming into the world and a farewell. So anyway, and Egyptians used to worship this. I mean, the Eye of Horus is basically based. You cut your brain, you cut your head in half, and where the pineal gland rests, you can match the Eye of Horus. How the Eye of Horus is sort of matches up with the structure of the brain around the pineal gland and all this stuff. So really, if you want to research that, you go do that. It's really interesting stuff. The pineal gland is very, very interesting. It's amazing how Egyptians sort of knew about this and were as knowledgeable as they were about it 10,000 years ago. So already I've kind of built up DMT to be this really like mystical, spiritual substance. I mean, there are tribes in the Amazon that have been making teas out of this stuff called ayahuasca for tens of thousands of years, and they say that the spirits told them how to put these two plants together. It's a root bark and I forget what the other. It's the other plant, but basically, what the root bark contains the DMT, and this other plant contains an enzyme that allows your stomach to absorb this DMT and experience DMT. And there's, I mean, how many plants, how many different species of plants are in the Amazon? I mean, tens of thousands. And that these guys found the two that went together. I mean, the odds of that, they say the spirits told them. So another really weird, trippy kind of thing that went down with DMT. So it's they call it the spirit molecule. So it's already a very mystical substance. I mean, versus any other substance that exists, DMT is by far the most mysterious and the most magical. So let me get into talking about DMT. Um, so DMT. So smoking DMT. First, I'm going to give you a little introduction to how to smoke it, how you should smoke it, because I know a lot of you are just going to want to get right into it and you want to know what it's about. So smoking DMT, you get your DMT. Uh, I'd recommend using a bong. You can use a vaporizer. If you're desperate, you can use a bowl. Bowl is really sketchy. Vaporizer, you'll get the most clean DMT high, but I like to use a bong because you can get those bigger rips and you can get into your trip faster and have I feel like a better experience longer and harder. Um, so you want to use weed or parsley. You want to like sandwich the DMT. So you get, weed. You can do weed. I prefer parsley because I feel like parsley doesn't interfere with the high as much as weed does. Um, because I like to get as pure of a DMT high as possible. So and parsley doesn't do anything. It's like something you put in food to like make it taste good, and yeah, it doesn't do anything when you smoke it. So put some parsley in the bottom of the bowl, and then put zero point 0.1 grams of DMT on top of that, and then put a bunch of parsley on top. And you want to get a good layer of parsley on top because you don't want to light the DMT directly. If you light the DMT directly, you're just gonna burn it, and you're not gonna get anything. You have to vaporize it. So you pack it, you sandwich it, you do the DMT, you put the parsley on top, boom, you're ready to go. Taking your rip, you want to slightly cherry the top and take a slow rip. And as soon as you just get the top cherry, just stop lighting it and use that cherry to your advantage. Really cherry that parsley or weed or whatever. Take your rip, And then hold that rip in as long as you can. You want to take a big rip. I mean, you want to take the biggest rip you've ever taken. You got to be careful. It tastes kind of funny, so it's going to be a very different taste, and you need to fight the cough. Like if you want to cough it out, don't do it. You need to take in a big rip, or maybe take a smaller rip for your first rip. Take a small rip so you can get used to the taste. Hold that in as long as you humanly can. Like you want to absorb. The longer you hold it in, the more DMT you get, and the better the experience you'll have, and the stronger the experience you'll have. And you'll want to take a couple rips to really break through. So now you're on your way. And something that makes the whole DMT experience is the music. The music is everything. It defines it defines the entire experience. It's beautiful how like the energy from music can like creates like an atmosphere for you. So your typical music, I mean, you can listen to whatever you're into. If you're into really psychedelic stuff, listen to what you really want to listen to. I mean, Pink Floyd, whatever, I mean, the Beatles, whatever psychedelic music you enjoy, listen to it. I don't know about like rap or, you need to listen to or maybe even like listen to like pineal gland activation videos or like binaural beats or, is that how you pronounce it? Binaural beats or something like that. Um, but what um, I listen to this guy named Washed Out and Tycho. Tycho and Washed Out. Specifically by Tycho, his album Dive. And Washed Out, I mean Paracosm. And the album Paracosm is probably I'm getting goosebumps thinking about Washed Out Paracosm. This song on there called Weightless. Listen to Weightless in your DMT trip, and you will freaking, oh my god, you're gonna have the best fucking time. Like his whole album, the Paracosm album is amazing. Specific songs from another album, not It All Feels Right. Sorry, Feel It All Around by Washed Out. And Tycho, like his whole Dive album is amazing. So I'd recommend Washed Out and Tycho. That's my recommendations. That's my personal recommendations. It will change your it will change your fucking life, yo. Um yeah. So those are my music recommendations. Alright, sorry for all the edits, guys. I had a lot of stuff I wanted to add into this video that I left out, even including uh, where to get DMT. Now, where to get it, I can help you. I can give you some tips where you can find it. Uh, do my best. I was fortunate enough to have my friend make it for me. He's like a biologist and shit, and he loved to do this in his spare time. So I was very fortunate, very very fortunate, and humbled to have had him as a friend to help me get DMT. So where do you get it? Music festivals. Go to your music festivals. Go to raves, EDM, specifically EDM. Go to Burning Man, Electric Forest, EDC, Ultra, Tomorrow World, uh, any anywhere you like, anywhere that has EDM, a lot of hippies, good vibe people that love to experiment with psychedelics are at music festivals. So that's where you need to go. Or raves. Go to raves. Find like a club that's got like, you know, Avicii or like Hardwell or someone playing some DJ, big name DJ, trap me like Foster Dan. No, maybe not Foster Daniels, but like it also depends on the EDM you're going to. So, I mean, not really. I wouldn't say that, but music festivals and don't do. I wouldn't be so sure about doing DMT at the music festivals. Um, I would keep the DMT, take it home with you, and do it at home. Do it with some friends in a very comfortable environment. And also, when you transport DMT, you need to be very careful with the transportation of DMT because DMT it melts really easily. I mean, DMT like literally with little heat, it just melts. So you gotta keep it in a very you can't keep it in too hot of an environment. So that's another thing. You need to keep it in a nice room temperature. I like to keep my DMT in tin foil. Don't put it in a plastic baggie or any of that. I keep mine in tin foil. And you want to keep it in a nice, cool area. You don't want it to be too hot because it will melt. I left it in my car once, melted, gone. All of it was gone. So that was so frustrating. So yeah, music festivals, smoke it in a very comfortable environment, and keep it cool because it melts very easily. It's a very precious substance. So there you go. Now enjoy the rest of the video. I'm gonna talk to you about the DMT experience now. Let me try to talk about this. So when you first go into this, you start smoking. Things are gonna change really fucking quick. I mean, in 30 seconds. I mean, things are gonna be at their peak of just change, depending on how much you smoked. It's really scary. Like your mind goes into a panic mode. Actually, sorry, it's not scary. It's just very different, and it's unfamiliar. Your mind goes into this mode where it's like, what's going on? What am I looking at? What's going on with the room? Like, holy crap, this is really happening. Oh my god, this is happening a lot faster than I thought. Am I okay? Just relax. It's that simple. You know, your brain's naturally going to be sort of really questioning everything, like what's going on, like what's happening to me, like. But you gotta tell yourself it's gonna be okay. You just gotta. It's basically a phase. You know, you just get through. Stay comfortable, stay chill, and you get through the phase of just worry and just like, what the fuck is going on in the room? The floor is melting. The whole universe is coming to life. Am I dead? Am I dying? It's so cool though. You just gotta overcome those thoughts. It's really simple. You just keep telling yourself, I'm gonna be cool. Just what's there to worry about? You're about to have a DMT trip. Why are you stressing about it? Just all good vibes about it. So now you're going to your trip, and the room literally comes to life. It's like you're from the fourth dimension, and you came to the third dimension. So we're in the third dimension. So it's like becoming a fourth dimensional being, and you're in the third dimension. So you get all these. You see the world in a fourth dimensional sense. I mean, everything you can sense the energy in everything. Like everything has a personality. You want to see something really cool, look up Alex Gray artwork. And he has a lot of artwork. I'm sure a lot of you know of it. If you don't, go look at it. Where the entire like room, they'll be in this huge just dome space, like insane space with just eyes everywhere, with your spirit going up into this dimension, into this heaven, or wherever, whatever you think of it as, another world, the afterlife or whatever. And that's what happens when you smoke DMT. You know, it's like you don't see eyes. You get this sixth sense, like your third eye activates, and you get this sixth sense for everything around you. Like everything has a personality. Everything's curious to see you. Everything's like celebrating your arrival. Like it's like cheering you on. Everything's so happy to see you. Like this desk, this Coke bottle, the freaking plates, the microwave. Everything is like watching you. It's curious, and at the same time, it's like, oh, they were so happy to see you. But every time you look at it, like if you look at something that you feel is looking at you, and it's all in your peripheral vision, you look at it, it like looks away. It's like, oh shit, do you see me? And then you look away, and it looks back at you. So you never really get to like see anything. Like you never get to look at anything in the eye, and, like talk to it. It's just all in your peripheral. You can just sense this energy like all around you. It's really weird, but it's so cool. It's really cool. It's just like happy, such happy thoughts. Because at first it's all new, and you're like really weirded out by it. But as you get used to it, it's like freaking, you get so happy. It's just so fucking cool. So at the same time, all the textures, all this texture, like this looks like something out of a Willy Wonka factory. Like the texture, it almost looks like candy. Like I could grab this and just like just rub it on my face. Just like everything is just, I don't know how to explain it, man. It's just everything takes on this really weird dimensional feeling. Like you see things in a whole another dimensional sense, and I can't explain that because as a third dimensional being, our understanding can't possibly understand what a fourth dimensional being sees. So just imagine you're this fourth dimensional being. I mean, that's really hard to understand. I mean, go read up on fourth dimensional beings. I feel like that's what it's like. So when you smoke DMT, it's also kind of a lot like you're visiting the afterlife. I mean, that's what happens when you die. When you die, or when you're born. You're born again, or when you die. So imagine, this celebration, this huge, all in your mind, this celebration of you coming into the world or you leaving the world. Either way, they're both the same thing. And life just gives you this just amazing, just fucking blissful, ecstatic, euphoric celebration of just love, every emotion possible. Like every emotion, every sensation, every feeling, every vibe times a billion, and it's just all flowing endlessly into your mind. Like when you close your eyes on this, when you're breaking through and you close your eyes, you're seeing geometric patterns, shapes that you can't even describe. They're going in motions and directions, and they're doing formations that you never thought were possible. You've never seen in a picture. Like a picture cannot encompass like what you're seeing in the realm of your mind on DMT. I mean, imagine, so go back to, it's going to be like this big celebration of you leaving the world. Like you've lived, say you live until 100, you're 100 years old, and you leave the world. So that 100 years, you operate on like maybe 10% of what your brain could operate on, the frequency wise. And when you die and you smoke, then DMT floods into your brain goes to literally like 100%. It wants to give you this beautiful experience in like 5 to 15 minutes. When you smoke DMT, when you die, it's like 7 minutes. They say when you die, there's 7 minutes of brain activity where your life, you see your whole life flash before your eyes, everything, memories and feelings and emotions and all that stuff. And that 7 minutes is what I believe is actually a DMT trip. Because in DMT, your life literally does flash before your eyes. I mean, but in a good sense, like just the thoughts and the emotions and the feelings and the sensations that flow all together, like these thoughts all like I can't explain. There's like maybe like 1,000 thoughts and feelings and emotions and sensations and euphorias and vibes that come at you at once through one like a stream. It's just it's so hard to explain. So when people say they die and they saw the light, they actually did see the light. It was DMT. It was a DMT trip. So if you think people are crazy, yo, you saw like atheists out there, they're like, oh yeah, you didn't see the light, you did. But it's like, dude, no, they did see the light. It was a DMT trip. I mean, people say they die, they saw the light, and then they didn't actually die, and they just come back like, oh, I saw the light, and people are like, you're crazy. You didn't die and see the light. You probably, heard someone else talk about seeing the light. So when you died, you're just saying you thought you saw the light. No, no, no. They saw the light. It was a DMT trip. Their body just thought they were gonna die, so it released DMT, and they had a trip. But then, whoa, they got brought back to life. So DMT is just such a magical, mystical drug. But rewinding back, let's go back into the trip. So close your mind, and you got this insane, just dream world of extremely complex, and you're speechless. Like what you're experiencing, you just have no words for. You can't explain it. What you're experiencing is something that's completely out of the realm of our understanding and human comprehension to talk about. Like language isn't capable of explaining this experience. Like we don't have words to explain it. Like it's that complex. Like it's really that complex. Like acid, I can tell you what I saw in acid. I could, for the most part, explain to you what I'm experiencing and tell you what I'm seeing and all this. DMT, I could try. I could just try, and I would not even come close to experiencing everything that's happened to you at once. Like your whole body. All right, let me put it this way: when you come out of it, this is a really weird sensation that everyone feels when they come out of a DMT trip. It feels like your entire body came. Like orgasm, cummed. Like you feel wet. Like your face, your arms, your legs, everything feels wet. Like it's just orgasm and just this magnificent harmony, just harmonious synchronicity with the universe. Just everything's just like imagine your entire, not like when you like if you're fucking and you're having sex and you orgasm, whether a guy or a girl. Imagine that times 1,000, and it's your entire body. I mean, that's just a small part of this experience that makes it so beautiful. I mean, so awe-inspiring and humbling to have experienced this. I mean, to say it's literally like death, but you gotta think of death in like a positive way, like like I said earlier, like a celebration of your life. Let's say you lived 100, all compressed in a couple minutes. It wants to give you this bonanza of just something that can make you happier than your life you just lived. I mean, imagine something that happens in 15 minutes that'll make you happier than having lived your entire life. I was never as happy as I've ever been. I will never be as happy as I was in that DMT experience. Like never. Nothing will ever come to the happiness and the feelings and the love and the just vibes that I felt from this DMT experience. It's just that's the most powerful message I can get across. It's happier. You it's a big finale for you leaving this planet, and you get to experience it while you're alive. You get to experience this death celebration, this grand finale before you die, and it's called DMT, and that's just fucking beautiful. Like another thing during this experience is that spirits come to you. Like when I have spirit, like a spirit comes to you, and there's a lot of different. I mean, I've there's a bunch of different ideas of what the spirit, if it's actually like a spirit from the external world. I mean, I'm more convinced that this spirit is already within us. It's like in our DNA. It's because I mean, all our atoms and everything with us is alive. You know, our entire body is an organism. You know, and it's like data. It's like ancient data. Like what's in our body has been passed down for like generations, thousands, tens of thousands of years, like ever since billions. I mean, I don't know how old humankind's been around, but you know, this ancient wisdom is in all of our bodies, and we tap into this ancient wisdom with DMT, and this ancient wisdom comes to us in like an avatar. You create this avatar with your mind, like it's basically imagine like like just knowledge, just pure ancient, just unlimited knowledge, and it comes to you in whatever form you give it. So with me, it was like this. I don't know how to explain it. Like it was like this really like badass, like kind of like cool kid. It wasn't like a this magical elf or anything. It was like a shady, like really like chill, like motherfucker that just came up to me and just didn't really like speak to me. Just him being there, like we were like talking telepathically, and there's all these thoughts and emotions while I'm going through this world of geometric bliss, and just mazes and labyrinths of just crazy fucking shit. Like crazy fucking shit. He's like leading me through this experience, like just talking to me and keeping me cool, and like at the same time giving me all these, feeding me with all this knowledge. I mean, just all this knowledge that's been stored up in my body for my whole life, and even lifetimes before me, like ancestors, like all this ancient knowledge from ancestors were finally were coming into me. Ancient knowledge from the fucking planet and the universe was coming into my mind. Like it was everything. Like just think of all the knowledge of the universe. I mean, even maybe knowledge from other people. Like oh, and people, dude, people look crazy. You see people in such a different light when you're on DMT. Like people look nuts. Like one time, I mean, this is one perspective of like a different perspectives of what people look like. That I was smoking out with people and they said that they're like this girl was laughing. She was like, everyone looks like mermaids. And I was like, yo, I looked at everyone, I'm like, everyone looks like a mermaid. I was like, what the yo, did we come from the oceans or some shit? Like did we like evolve from like the water? Because the water, I mean oceans, we haven't explored shit. Like we've explored the earth and stuff, but we have no idea what's in our oceans. I mean, that's like that's still like secret, you know? Our oceans are like a secret to us. So to think that our oceans are probably more ancient than you know, the land masses that have formed, I mean, I think that's pretty cool, you know? It all started from volcanoes. So it's probably in the oceans, and volcanoes came up and then made land, and so we could have come from the oceans a long time ago. But anyway, that's a different thing. So another thing is when you look at people, you realize how I don't want to talk. I mean, it's really interesting how like it feels like we're divine, like how divine, like we're just like these alien. I mean, it seems like some extremely intelligent life force. Like, I mean, this is a thought that I had was like created us. Like the fact that it's almost like intelligent design, like how everything has a purpose, like literally, like, or we give it a purpose, but everything has a function and it works perfectly. Like our bodies are. I mean, it's just it's. You just have to experience DMT and look at yourself and have these thoughts on your own, have your own little, give yourself your own interpretations. But um, and also like when my friends would come back from their DMT trips, I mean even me, like my first time, I was speechless. I had to sit there and think for like 10 minutes, collect my thoughts, and rewind and rethink everything that was going on. I mean it was that crazy. Like next time I smoke, I'm definitely gonna write some stuff down and talk and like dictate or like record or something and like directly after I smoke because it's just it's so much knowledge, man. I mean, it's like the secrets to the universe come to you. Like Pandora's box opens and it's your mind. Like your mind is Pandora's box, and DMT activates this box. It opens up and it's just, you know, It's just an amazing experience. It's just such bliss, man. So anyway, 20 minutes now. Holy crap! I think I'm gonna be done with this video. If anything else comes up, I mean, you can talk about it in the comments, or when tweet me your experiences, like how you interpret your DMT experiences, and love to read them and take some information from other people, sort of just to feed that into myself, and everyone else can take that information away and apply that to their experience and think about it and add on to it. I mean, build on this sort of universal human conscious consensus of like a DMT experience. Like everyone experience isn't wrong. It's all right. So we could compile. Anyway, I'm thinking like way too crazy right now. So anyway, guys, thanks for listening to me and watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you're really interested in doing DMT, do it. I advise every single living creature to do this drug. It's not even a drug. Drug is such a bad word for DMT. Like DMT is so much. It's so far above that. Like that's such a bad connotation. Drug. Like sounds so bad. DMT is like just a beautiful. It's a molecule. It's the most mysterious and fascinating substance on the planet, and it's illegal, and it's in your brain, and it's like just pisses me off, and it should piss you off too. And that's why you should want to do it so bad, because it's literally, I feel like it's being kept from you. It's an ancient knowledge that's being kept from you. There's nothing, I mean, the government's not trying to keep you safe from telling you not to smoke DMT. They're trying to keep themselves safe, so they're trying to disconnect you from the planet, literally disconnect you from Mother Nature. DMT is like this, it's almost like the tree of knowledge. I mean, I feel like it is the tree of knowledge. I mean, the plants and animals and all this stuff, and you smoke it, and you're smoking this, and it's just pure knowledge, man. Anyway, you guys take care. Peace and love. Namaste. And follow me on Twitter at Experience, EXPHERIENCE. And I'll catch you guys on there. Follow me for a positive, open-minded lifestyle and living a balanced life, better life. How to feel, think. Not really how. I'm not gonna teach you how. I can advise you how. You can take what you want from my Twitter and apply it to your own life, or repackage it how you want to. Get ideas and live an interesting life. Live a very creative and different life from everything. So, anyways, guys, thank you. Take care. Peace.